Well, hello everyone. It's, of course, the most wonderful time of the year where Elis and I come and hang out. We chill. We share our thoughts. We share our emotions. We share our feelings.
It's a safe space.
It's a safe space.
Yeah. It's a safe space that I must admit I wish I'd shaved before entering because it looks like Izzy's left me and I want it to be made very clear that she hasn't.
She hasn't left you. If
Nope.
anything, the passion between you burns more brightly than it ever did.
Big time.
And I always think that whenever I see color-coded bookshelves is,
Yes.
I think passion. I actually think steamy. I think 90s erotic thrillers such as Body Heat.
Yes. What's the one where Willem Dafoe melted wax on Madonna or the other way around?
Body of Evidence.
Body of Evidence, is it?
It's amazing that I know that.
There's a lot of that going on in this room.
Yeah, there's a lot of Body of Evidence.
Yeah,
There's
with the big
lights
on. Whenever we melt candles onto each other in a steamy encounter, we always have the big light on.
What would be the ultimate, sort of family, well, I say family friendly, sort of ultimate 15 certificate thriller with
Basic
sort of
Instinct? Is
but
that steamier?
No, but that's too steamy.
She shows her bits in that, doesn't she?
I'm thinking about hypothetical, and bear in mind, this is pre-Watershed.
You want to create a hypothetical 15 certificate sex scene?
I'm trying to think of what it would be called for the old. I think it would be called something like
Love Justice.
Love Justice. Maybe Evidence of Heat. Anyway, we'll sort of maybe think about that if we do a triple X.
Yeah.
EJNYEE triple X 2024.
That's what we should do next year. We should just do a sexy one.
Mm.
And the live stream should start at midnight.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. And then you'll get tired and grumpy, and I'll talk about sex for a quarter of an hour, and then we realise it's not working and call it quits.
But also, I would probably be asleep by then.
All right, then I'll do it on my own. I'll talk about sex on my own for an hour.
So it's obviously Christmas has passed.
Yeah.
New Year's Eve has yet to come. And for many millions of Brits, New Year's Eve at a service is a tradition as old as bringing a lump of coal to the front door.
Yes.
But Elis, we've all heard about my New Year's Eve plans. What are your plans for New Year's Eve, of course?
I'm going to a party at a friend's house, but we're taking the children, so we'll be back by 10 p.m. So I'm going to hear, not waiting up for the bongs. Home by Hootenanny is the aim.
Hashtag Home by Hootenanny. And
which was recorded in June. So
is it not live?
No. That's a common misconception that Hootenanny's live. It's recorded in, I think it's recorded in September. A box. It's a box for your wires.
It's a cable tidy.
Oh, lovely.
So what you do is you put your four-way in there, and as you know, I've got one gaffer taped to an NHS overbed table just to my left.
Yeah, during your breakdown, which was a very good purchase. Yeah.
Which she said is not today's problem, but is a problem. So you put your four-way in there. But you shouldn't need this. But also the problem is because
what beautiful young woman wants to move into someone's house, discover not one but two NHS invalid tables.
But the problem is plugs go on. Yeah. Well, he's very young as well.
Yes, he just looks very noble. And
have you got a present to show me, Elis?
No, I had one present for Christmas. But something happened to it. I won't say who it was, but someone came round to us on Christmas Day, and I got given Rory Stewart's book. I think it's called Politics on the Edge, and I had a very brief look at it. And this person came round, and this person is elderly and a Tory. And as a joke, I showed him the book and said, do you want to read something that will stop you from voting Tory ever again and might make you regret the last 13 years? And he said, oh, thank you, I've been meaning to read this. And he misunderstood my joke and thought thought I was giving him the book. And then he sat down at my kitchen table and read the first 130 pages of it and left with it. So I don't actually have a Christmas present.
So you got book napped. I mean, the irony is I also got given Rory Stewart's book.
Oh, did you? Well, I'm going to have to buy my own copy now.
Well, you can read it after me. I will do that.
Oh, thanks.
But
so I bought Mal Evans' The Beatles Roadies Diaries for myself, and I bought myself a new shirt. So
and those are the only presents you got?
Yeah, so I occasionally look at my new shirt and I'm glad.
Izzy didn't get you anything?
Izzy got me the Rory Stewart book.
And your mum didn't get you anything?
I think Mum... Oh, no, we do Secret Santa for the family and we're seeing each other all in January.
Oh, that's nice.
So I will get something then. But on Christmas Day itself, no. So I already got a book from Izzy, and I actually think she did quite well out of me because of the great cock up of 2010.
There were quite a few people at the Christmas sort of day I had, and it struck me that actually, if there's 10 people at a Christmas,
yeah,
and everyone buys everyone one present. That's 90 presents.
Yeah.
So that's going to take two and a half hours.
Yeah.
So a Secret Santa is a very good idea, I think.
Yes. So I'll be there with my two sisters and their husbands and my mum and all of the children, the cousins. So that's 6 kids. So so we Secret Santa it to avoid this, because obviously also the expense of it, because you're only buying one thing and there's a budget. But yes, so Izzy got some new perfume in a box set with body lotion. She got a book recommended by a man who knows her very well.
Do you know that if perfume comes in a box with body lotion, it's probably not very good perfume?
No. This was requested. This is a good
one.
This is top drawer.
It wasn't in Boots, sort of.
No,
reduced,
it wasn't
was
in
it?
Boots. It was in a special shop.
A special shop.
Yeah.
Well,
I got 2 colourful vases as well.
I got 2 vases.
Did you?
Yeah, I mean, some of my presents were for me, some of them were for us.
I think. Okay.
/ the house.
Okay.
Well, your Rory Stewart anecdote reminds me of my 3rd wish for 2024, which, as we're not on the BBC, I can say is a centre-left government. That would be superb.
Yeah.
Who ban wires?
Yeah, who ban wires? And a centre-left government and a big advert VO contract with Vodafone. That's what, because obviously we're not on the BBC. Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of the centre ground politically, we've got one more guest waiting at the door with his leaflets in his hand. It's winning here, Ivo Graham.
Good evening, Ivo. How are you?
Good evening, dear friends and sometime employers. It's nice to be. I've got myself in quite a New Year's Eve tiz, it must be said. I don't know if you've been following events on the production WhatsApp group.
No, why? What's going on?
I'm at a very grand Airbnb in Hampshire that has just, over the last couple of hours, suffered quite a major power cut, causing quite a lot of distress to my child and the 7 other children on the premises that the collective 11 parents were trying to put to bed. And it has disrupted my ability to watch and enjoy the pre-Graham segments of the New Year's Eve treat.
Well, Lou said something really quite harrowing after asking to be made a national treasure. So,
right, okay.
I'll text you.
That'd be great.
You do look a bit like you're being held hostage in the 90s, Ivo.
No, that hasn't happened, although we are apparently on the site of a school which was shut down in that time due to a police investigation.
Wow, okay.
So, the old uni gang have really clubbed together to find quite the haunted house for our sort of young families get together, which, I suppose on the risk assessment, should you be having the reunion with kids and the New Year's Eve treat on the same night? Then you think your daughter will be in bed by 9:15, and you might even be able to do a tech check during bedtime. But bedtime didn't exist.
Yes.
Bedtime was explaining the concept of electricity to a 4-year-old and promising that it would return, but I didn't know when.
Yes.
But do they not like it? Is it not like a bit of an adventure where everyone's lighting candles and telling spooky stories, but not about what happened in the house in the 90s?
No, thank you. I believe some fun has been had downstairs with the adults who have not got children or have successfully put their children to bed, which I now have. But it was too late in the bedtime firstly, too late in the collective bedtime to start, having. I mean, I suppose if of course, if everyone had been up going balmy, then we would have tried to make it fun balmy. But everyone was really just trying to sort of get bedtime over the line. And I, of course, had my secret mission because I didn't plop my virtual broadcast agenda into the WhatsApp about the same time that I wasn't contributing to the food order. Or various other bits of admin. Although I have paid my deposit with a very funny reference. Which I think my record is superb. Although the reference will probably be a lot funnier when I'm doing the second half of the deposit in 2 days' time.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's like I can't. I mean, of course, it's a family show. Elis, James, and John Robbins is one big family. If my daughter had appeared. I mean, Elis, have you had a child on a Zoom ever?
My son appeared during the tech check, blowing a whistle.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yep.
My daughter appeared during the 2020 Fighting Talk Champions of Champions final, in fact, which obviously was held on Zoom because of the pandemic. And Colin Murray docked me points.
Oh, that's tough.
Because I tried to involve her to curry favour, and he said, "Oh, absolutely no chance." So then I lost. I lost points. I still managed to win. I still scraped a win.
You're like Liverpool. You could only win under lockdown conditions. Your only victory has a big asterisk next to it. But many congratulations as someone who's never tasted that glory.
But no,
and yet Murray's legendary.
Have they appeared? I don't think so. I've had Betty on the podcast intro for the show.
Yes. Ivo, aside from attracting logistical mishaps like a black hole, what are your wishes for 2024?
Yes. Well, I suppose it's to try and do less of the old two things at once and therefore enjoying neither.
This is my problem as well. Yeah.
For those who don't know Ivo, his life is essentially an episode of Saved by the Bell where Zach tries to go on 2 dates at once, but with every single thing he does.
Yeah. No. Yes. Quite a lot of people have. Oh, this is one. I have now received enough messages on social media from people who've seen me running in public places, not for leisure, that I really, really want to stop doing that next year. I just can't be hammering it down the Victoria to Piccadilly change at Green Park anymore, which is obviously a horrible change.
I know that change longer than you think.
Well, no, I know exactly how long it is because I've got it down to the millisecond. And I leave and I will occasionally drift into the different lane. Yes. I will run into not busy oncoming traffic, but I will certainly use the gaps in the railing wisely. So I would love to just be a bit more on top of that sort of thing. That's me. Go to bed before midnight more. Yeah. I think I'm going to try and do that every night of January and just sort of see how long I can keep that going. like doing a dry January, but for going to bed before midnight. I'm quite excited about that actually.
Yeah.
A couple of tour shows will pose a challenge. But I'll just stay in cardigan. I'm going to cardigan, Elis.
Theatre Muldoon.
Yes, you said that you have a deep personal connection with it, which I
I
was
love Theatre
astonished
Muldown.
by.
I once went to watch the premiere of a documentary about a band I liked, and I'd driven from South London. It took me about 5.5 hours. And when I turned up, there was only two of us there to watch it. And the manager said, I can't be asked to put it on the projector, but I have got a version I can watch on my laptop. So should we all just sit in my office watch it? I said, yeah, let's do that. So we
Yeah, well,
all
there's every
sat in
chance
his
that my
office
tour
and
show,
ate crisps, and then I drove back to London. It was like a 10-hour round trip.
my tour show could operate on a similarly scaled down
Oh,
nature. We'll see.
well, if I must have people. I know people in
Ellis, I'm not,
Abertavy
Ellis,
Cardigan.
I'm not here plugging cardigan or complaining
No,
about
no,
ticket
no.
sales, which I haven't investigated. But I will tell you something that's happened, which I fear does slightly back up
I can
John's
have a look
point.
at the seating plan now if you want to check on the
No,
sales, Ivo.
why would you do that, John?
We could
Can
even
I
share.
tell you,
I could even share my screen.
I think comedians checking other comedians' seating plans is one of the most vile cancers of our industry. And I think my wish for 2024 is that all venues stop their seating plans being available. Actually,
Yeah. And it's just a sort of lucky dip.
yeah, I don't want to get tempted to check anyone else's. I don't
Yep.
want my tougher ones to be widely available.
Yeah.
And I think that when we discuss it amongst ourselves on WhatsApp, I think we are not operating at our very best. And when we are operating at our very best, what I mean is the conversation that we all had over WhatsApp over Christmas about our extended families, our relationships with them, and how we feel about the situation going forward.
Yes.
That was the high point of my Christmas. I don't know if that's come up so far.
No, it was.
We all got real on text, and by real, I said that I thought I had a broadly good relationship with my parents, despite them having sent me to boarding school at the age of 7, despite what several therapists might have suggested. He's 28. He sent an email out to the family, which he hoped would reach Father Christmas, with quite a long and extensive list of gifts between £10 and £20. And he basically opened all of them on Christmas morning. And he loves cooking, so he was getting this. He's getting all this sort of little yuzus and hot sauces. He got a book about Tusk by Fleetwood Mac, one of his favourite albums of all time. I was a bit more on the didn't send an email out, so it's Charles Pirret boxer shorts, and that's high quality actually, so no complaints there. There's
what's the design?
An ice cream scoop. Good.
You get a good one.
An ice cream scoop.
I've got it for one,
Kids
actually.
in the house, very useful actually.
Charles Pirret. We craft the clothes. You make them.
Oh,
I think that's a good. I think that's a good arrangement. I'm not looking to switch places with Charles Pirret in 2024. John Lewis Organic Cotton Rich, 5 pairs. Now I'm quite pleased about these, and these are gonna nudge some bad socks very close to the trapdoor when I get back home.
Yeah, I bought myself a pair of merino cycling socks, which I've been wearing.
Nice.
Ellis, you'll
great.
like this. I got running compression leggings for running.
I've never used them. What are they for?
I don't know. I'm going to use them on the flights to stop me getting deep vein thrombosis.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, you don't want to get DVT. You signed a new contract with the BBC.
And I got a running belt.
What's that for?
Oh, I've got something not unlike that. Well, I'm very much getting into the Robbins practical sphere now, I would say, with these sorts of things.
Oh, nice.
Mini zipper, LED light, microfiber, lens cloth. And every one of these, I open them, I turn, I make eye contact with my father, and my father just goes,
yeah.
Oh, that's
So
a
he's,
lovely Christmas moment.
Yeah.
yes, he's looking forward to me having a cleaner screen and well, I tell you what, I could have cracked open the mini zipper LED light. Astonishing. I don't think I will have a better use for this in the next 12 months than I had in the last 2 hours. And I didn't realise that I had it. That is astonishing. Bloody hell.
Problem
and I
with
prepped the bag.
The problem
I
with
could have used my glow snap belt as well.
Oh, yeah. For
That
when you
was
go to
probably really-
raves.
Yes, when I go
Childcare
to-
permitting.
Childcare permitting, of course. Every rave goes into the co-parenting calendar. No, the description of them quite vague. I don't know what my raving plans for 2024 are. I do absolutely love the vibe, the groove, the moment. but the surrounding admin has started to weigh a little
Yes.
a little
Are you talking
heavy,
about
it must be
actual
said.
raves?
Yes, I am, John. I'm talking
Wow.
about communing through dance.
Yeah.
So this is a digital luggage scale. You won't be seeing a lot of these at the rave. I went I think I may have met, I had the great honor of co-hosting your radio show in one of your absence, hard to keep up, shortly after going to the absolutely superb event, Homer Block in Manchester.
Oh, in Manchester, yeah.
And at one of those, I was charging my phone on the portable charger, and I realised the lead was from Halfords. And I thought, I don't want to be looking at the word Halfords right now in this moment. Anyway, I've also got a biltong from our farm, handmade in Pembrokeshire.
Oh,
So if I can save these for cardigan, then it'll be a lovely thing.
the problem with the people who were attending like raves during the 1988 Second Summer of Love and going communing in through dance in fields around the M25 and listening to sort of 808 State and stuff. It was the pre-co-parenting Google Calendar age, wasn't it?
It was. Yes, I've got absolutely no idea how they were keeping their various sort of balls in the air. But obviously, as discussed, I'm not. But I would also like to be in charge of more raves, by which I mean, Elis, DJing.
Oh, yeah.
There's talks to do more Scared to Dance. There's talks to do a Dancing with Dave.
Oh, that is great fun.
My instantly iconic club night format, comedians DJ battles, will return.
Yes.
Its neon sign has been leaning against my bedroom wall.
It feels like everyone else is getting younger next year, whereas I just slowly age. I mean, it's
come on,
you're
John.
aging, John.
Don't
You're
say
decaying.
that. I'll be weighing my luggage next year, John. Don't you worry.
well, luggage is heavy enough to weigh on an actual scale.
Yeah, that is the worst present in a stocking, I would say. It's not like lovely Africa trumps, but I'm delighted with these.
What are they? Top trumps from African countries.
Yes, exactly.
It's like primary industries and population and stuff like that.
Oh, listen, I'll open it live on air. I'm really settling into this broadcast now, actually, and my daughter has not yelled in distress. So, I mean, I can just immediately tell you that 40% of Eritrea is urbanized. So I've also got a wine stopper. I'm not too busy vaping away there, John.
It's his own house. They can't tell him what to. It's not the BBC.
Of course. I don't think I can vape here, actually, at this closed school.
I think that is the bollocking Dave likes giving John the least.
Oh yeah, the vaping bollocking.
Please don't vape in the studio bollocking.
Yeah, because it's really there's a lot more weighing on it than I think I know.
Yeah.
And he's trying to communicate that to me in as nice as possible way, but jobs are on the line if I get caught vaping on the cameras.
And he's run out of ways to say it now. So he's looped back round and he's saying it in the first way he said it. Please don't fucking vape in the studio, John, please.
X was a bit more relaxed on the old vape,
you could smoke crack in the studio at X. They did.
Chris Moyles used to smoke fags.
Every minute of the yeah.
He used to creep out into a window between the studio and Leicester Square and smoke fags in a 1.5 foot insulation gap.
Yeah. They were good times.
They were good times. Brought to you by Gillette.
I don't resent getting batteries in my stocking, actually.
Nor should you, because I actually bought some batteries today for a head torch.
These are like in the Graham stocking. These are the Bible and the complete works of Shakespeare on Desert Island discs. If you're
mine
not
was
looking
a tangerine and a pound coin.
Oh, lovely.
Ivo, a lot of people are requesting a little bit of...
No, thank you. I've had quite a stressful evening, haven't I, John? I've had quite a stress. In 2024, I will get to grips with my voice acting confidence issues, but I'm afraid they exist at quite a heightened state even now.
Ivo's Cork accent has gone down. Well, Ivo's lack of Cork accent has gone down as one of the sort of great moments in Elis and John folklore.
It is,
and I listened back to it. I actually found it quite troubling. I'm not like have a go at you, but in terms of it, I felt the emotion of the panic.
Yes, and here you are, volunteering just a lovely little double dip. I'm not even finished my stocking, Sean.
So can we hear just a little bit more of that panic?
So, and my stocking here, I've got some. Oh, I don't want to be saying Charles Tyrwhitt in a Cork accent on December the 30th, John. Please, please.
Oh, Ivo, you've been a very good sport. Could you say Happy Christmas and a Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year?
Merry Christmas to you all, and have a Happy New Year.
Do you know what? That's not half bad.
That's all right.
It's clear that you've been working on it.
Yeah. I went to Skibbereen. I hung out with those lovely brothers. We did our best.
Yeah, the rowers. What's that noise? I can hear a noise. Do you know what that is? That's the good people of Ireland standing up to give you a round of applause, Ivo.
I would have enjoyed that applause more if I hadn't visibly panicked that the noise you'd heard was something from within my house.
Well, we do hope the lights come back on, Ivo.
The lights have been the lights.
You've brightened up our day.
Oh, thank you very much.
Because the problem with a power cut when you got young kids, they don't find exciting. It just stops them from watching Grizzy and the Lemmings.
We listened to an audiobook of Matilda. By which is really nice. Although Mr. Wormwood's not a very nice daddy. Although she said he's not a very nice daddy. You're a nice daddy, and then she gave me a kiss, and that was very nice. And I thought, go to sleep. I've got Elis and John in 37 minutes. But thanks for having me, chaps. And I think it's absolutely fantastic that these lovely virtual shows have continued beyond the pandemic, in which you were such good friends to so many. I'm sure lots of people hugely appreciate getting to watch this on New Year's Eve, even though I have resented it hugely this evening.
Well, that's very, very kind of you to say. So we thank Ivo Graham. Bye-bye, Ivo, dear. And hope you have a lovely rest of the evening. What a nice thought that is, getting absolutely lashed in a country house with a checkered past.
Yes. 11 different parents as well. Oh,
wowza.
But if all the kids are at the same age, that'll just be fun. It just means there's enough wet wipes. There's enough pseudocreme. Nothing will be forgotten. That's my experience.
No, yes, enough, muslin, enough of those crisps that taste of nothing.
Yeah.
Well, Elis, I'd better go off to see whether I can get into my bedroom yet, due to an awful lot of stuff being unpacked and sorted and folded incredibly well.
Is it bedroom stuff that's going in your bedroom, if you know what I mean?
The minute there's a big moth. The minute there's well, it took me by surprise.
Yeah, you just turned into Kenneth Williams then. It was amazing.
You can clip that up and put it on socials.
Oh yeah, that'll be good. People will love that. John Robbins gets surprised by big moths.
John Robbins slams moth in audience. You won't believe what happened next.
Yeah.
No, there's a mixture of stuff in the bedroom, including some 18-foot tall curtains, which are too fancy to be disposed of.
And too tall for your entire house.
Too tall for my entire house. Too bespoke to be sold. So I'm guessing I'm just going to be storing curtains with me for the rest of my life, and then I'll die.
Yeah.
And then it becomes someone else's problem.
But you'll be dead.
I'll be long gone. Yeah. Everyone involved in the making, the storing, the envisaging of the curtains will die, and they will be handed down from family to family.
So if I outlive you, which not as foregone a conclusion as it was at one point.
Well, not now. I've got my running backpack.
Exactly. Should I outlive you, I'll get to read your bag of death.
Yes.
And then have a look at these wonderful bespoke curtains that have been in an attic for decades.
Yeah, they weigh about 30 kilos. Yeah. They're made of a material that needs extraordinarily expensive dry cleaning.
Right.
These
If
aren't
you
my
buy a
curtains.
cat, they'll be destroyed
Oh,
anyway.
no cats, nowhere. You can't actually breathe near them. They're
Okay.
quite valuable. Utterly useless, of course, but they must be treated with the utmost respect.
Yes.
Though I did have a minor victory where I was able to ensure that just for the next month, they're in bin bags down by the side of the chest of drawers.
They're 18 feet high.
Which is too high.
The height of a sort of like an Olympic diving board.
Yeah. I mean,
wow.
So if you've got a Georgian townhouse with high ceilings or a sort of bay window, they would be a godsend. Unfortunately, having checked on the prices of those houses, that ain't gonna happen to me.
Yeah, you need £5.5 million.
Yeah, you do actually. Yeah,
yeah.
In London, minimum.
Yes.
Outside of London, maybe 2.5.
Okay. All right.
But anyway, I am looking forward to. Oh, I tell you what, I am looking forward to. Is getting into this enormous Ferrero Rocher.
Oh yeah.
That's not perspective like Lord of the Rings.
Are you going to eat it all in one go?
I'm just going to like smash it into my forehead.
In front of the curtains.
In front of the curtains.
To make a point, yeah. Very good.
Everyone, we hope you have a wonderful New Year's Eve, wherever you are.
I'm going to finish on one thing, actually. I'm raising money for my friend Matt, who needs to raise £250,000 for some treatment that will extend his life for years, fingers crossed, because he's been diagnosed with a very rare form of cancer. So if you go on my pinned tweet, so you can't miss it. If you go on my Twitter page, it's the first tweet that you'll see. There's a little video I did explaining it and a link to his GoFundMe page. So I know there's lots of you watching tonight. I know at times are tough, and obviously we've just had Christmas, but if you could spare £5, I would be so grateful. So I just thought I'd say that at the end.
Yes, absolutely. Check out Elis's pinned tweet for his dear friend Matt.
There's a video on my Instagram. You have to. It's a few because the link in my bio was to this, but if you scroll down to the sort of video, it's just of my face. I think it's probably the only video on there, and you'd get all the details you need from that. So but the Twitter's the best place to go to. But I thought I'd use my position on this show to magnify his appeal.
So it may have looked like I was incredibly shocked by what you were saying there, but it just absolutely started to piss down. And I thought something had gone wrong with my house.
Oh, right, okay. I thought it was another moth.
No, but I mean, I literally did a comedy kind of. It was just the sound of an enormous downpour at the beginning.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right. Well, I've thoroughly enjoyed this.
Yes, this has been great fun. And second one I've done, Sans Cans. They should be absolutely lashed and desperate for a piss by now.
Yeah, we used to have an interval during a streamed show during the can phase, and I would just sit there, waiting for you to come back. Because the one benefit of such a small house is the toilet's very close, so you were never longer than about a minute and a half. But I did used to feel like Garth in Wayne's World having to fill.
Yeah, the good thing about this house is if your aim is on, you can actually piss into the toilet from every room. So, folks, we hope you have a wonderful New Year's Eve, wherever you are, whoever you're with, whatever you're doing. Stay safe and enjoy the festivities. And we hope that rubber up, yes, of course. We hope your wishes come true for 2024. And we will see you. We're back doing the show in February, having January off to clean up our houses and to organise our books, etc., etc. But we love you all very much, and we hope you enjoyed spending this evening with us. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Right. So you did a cameo on Christmas Day. From Strensham Services.
And earlier in the day, I'd actually already been to Gloucester Services.
Right, a double services on Christmas Day.
Gloucester Services
on the day
was
Christ
closed.
was born. Was it?
Yeah. I mean, the garage was open, so you could access toilets and a small selection of farm shop goods.
Okay.
Do you know what? I had a grudging respect for Gloucester Services to say, no, actually.
Yeah.
The big guys will stay open. You may have access to a Burger King, a Chopsticks, a KFC, an El Tortilla, but we are a cut above the rest. We
Yeah.
treat our staff with respect.
Yeah. I'm hoping that the people at sort of Lead LMEO were on Double Bubble for working on Christmas Day. You would like to think that.
You've got to be on Double Bubble Christmas Day.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if anyone can confirm that for us. But yeah.
Anyway, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. We're going to be discussing our wishes for next year. We're going to be discussing our Christmas presents. And we're also going to be joined by a few familiar faces. And I think I hear the sound of unicorn bells outside the door and a
Who could that
doorbell.
be?
So who could it be?
Kiwi!
It's
Hello,
Lily
Lou.
Sanders, of course.
Well, it's lovely to see you. John, Christmas Day, I was in the services. I thought you'd like that. I was
Oh,
in
which one?
It could be Medway. It could have been Medway.
Was it Medway?
It could have been
Was
Medway.
that M2?
I never sort of log my services because I've sort of worked on other areas of my personality. much to my default.
And was it open?
Yeah, it was open, and I said to the lady who got me a coffee, I said, "Can I leave a tip on the card? I think this was Costa," and she said, "No, we can't take tips." And
What?
she looked
No.
like she was like, she paused for a minute, and then she looked at the thing, and she's like, "Oh no, we can't take tips," as if no one had ever asked her before on
Oh,
Christmas
what a
Day.
shame.
Oh,
I know, and do you know what? I was like, that's so unfair. I was like, that's awful. I was obviously going to leave like a big one or something. And then afterwards,
for anyone not in the industry, the oneer is £1.
no, a ton, a monkey. No, that's 500. No, but
500 quid tip.
and then, but there was, I realised after, so she said no, and I was disappointed for her, but then there was 5 or 10% of me that's like, looks like I saved myself a bit of cash there. Terrible. So yeah, how was your Christmases? All right.
Oh, yeah, it was fine. What's that on your right-hand side, Lou?
This,
Yeah.
It's a cat
that's a
bed.
cat. It's a cat bed, and the mug here is what you got me, John, one day.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
May there always be an angel by your side.
That was a mistake, and also what's a mistake is that I'm wearing my Baby and Bobbit t-shirt. It's serendipity.
I
Can
was
everyone
meant to.
see?
I was meant to give Lou that on air. So that's images of Lou with her cat's Baby and Bobbit combined into a sort of 90s rock
Yeah.
style t-shirt.
Looks like a kind of a breakfast club sort of era,
Yes.
like a brat pack.
And let me tell you, a man looked at me today, because I've been wearing this all day, and he sort of looked me up and down and then gave the t-shirt a closer look like this, and then absolutely looked like he didn't want to do me. Which for me is unusual.
So, Lou, we're talking about our Christmas. What are we calling them?
What are we
2024
talking about?
wishes.
Yeah.
I wrote some down because
Yes.
I
Well,
got
let's
so-
take them one by one.
Yeah, okay. So New Year's wishes for 20. You know when we were on the, I don't want to blow the sort of cover, but we did have a tech, like we just to check everything's working.
Yeah.
And John said, "And will we do our Christmas wishes?" New Year's wishes, and it was very sweet. Okay, I'll just read through mine. Okay.
Well, no, let's do them one by one. What's your first one?
Okay, world peace. And
Yes.
I have got a solution to that.
Okay.
This
And
I can't wait to hear.
Yeah. If there's any politicians listening, buckle up your
Yeah.
ears. It's free MDMA, and I've done some pilot studies in my front room, and I think I am ready to be globally funded.
That reminds me of a lot of conversations from about 2003. And I think that's actually, isn't that a Streets lyric?
Is it?
I'm sure he says.
thought
Imagine
that was-
all the. I can't remember
That
what it
was
is.
my own. I guess there's no such thing as a good idea, as a new idea. A good idea.
Yeah, that's what they always say. There's no such thing as a good idea.
Yeah.
Lou, I think you're coming through the mic on your iPhone
shut
headphones.
Shut up! I'm not. Shut up.
Yeah, you are, because it's jiggling a little bit when you.
Okay, I'll test. I'll go to Blue Snowball and
Here we go.
And how's that for you?
That's great stuff.
Imagine
the reminds me of Cuddle Club days.
It's from Weak Become Heroes. Imagine the world's leaders on pills, and imagine the morning after. Wars causing disaster. Don't talk to me. I don't know ya.
Oh, I love it. Apart from don't talk to me, I don't know you, because we should all talk to each other more.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Thank you. Next wish is it's just as important. It's to have, this is a bit more personal though, to have the skin of a girl who's been privately educated.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. Dad works
I know
in
exactly
insurance.
what you mean.
Mum's a Swedish model.
Because they tend to wear SPF 50 every day.
John, we know you've had a rich history, but that is true. But I wear Factor 50 every day, so you tell me.
They were the ones who would always be smoking rollies in clubs.
It doesn't make out. It doesn't.
And yet always had very great skin. It's about 20. Sorry, this is quite a unique observation to my. But I know exactly what you mean. The type of girls you see on skiing holidays.
Yes.
Yes.
And I do go snowboarding, so it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But,
I went skiing once, but when I came back, I just looked like I was sunburnt. And I looked a bit leathery, actually. I didn't kind of look healthy. I just looked like, something had gone wrong.
You can go snowblind if you don't wear the right sunglasses when you're skiing. And Ray Mears has a very good tip for how to make wraparound shades out of birch bark.
That must look great on the slopes. I've actually got pingueculi.
What's that?
It's a kind of crystallized calcification in my eyeballs, which are very common in people who do extreme sports and very elderly cats.
Where the crossover meets.
If you look deep into my eyes,
I won't.
There's like these little they're like small yellow. I think I've only got one in each. Small yellow round things, and it's a pingueculi.
I like the way that it's the doctors tried to make it sound a bit more sexy for you, and been like a lot of extreme sports people.
When I went to the doctor about it, he said, do you do a lot of extreme sport? I said, no. He went, oh right. He said, what? Where did you grow up? And I said, West Wales. And he went, oh, is it very windy? I said, yeah. He went, yeah, it'll be that. I was like, oh right, okay, yeah. It just means that my eyes are absolutely disgusting to look at, but other than that, fine. Oh, no one seems that bothered.
What's your next wish, dear?
To stop giving notes on other people's personalities. Don't nod your head, Ben. People can't see Ben. Ben's a producer, but my friend I've known for ages, and he's nodding his head. What are you talking about? No, I've got better, but I really need to sort of stop it dead now. Because people don't want to hear my opinions on what they could change on their personalities. It's often unwelcome and unsolicited.
Well,
you've never given me advice that I found unsolicited, Lou.
You cannot touch perfection. That was before I looked into your eyes.
Lou, I'm going to allow you solicited advice of how to change a personality. So, Lou, you have my permission to tell Elis what he needs to do to change.
No, you can't give me your permission for Elis's thing, but also Elis is a dream. He's a dreamboat.
Yes.
You know, you get to the studio when I do my little coverings. You get to the studio. Elis is there with a warm embrace and a happy smile.
All right, then, what do I need to do?
Well, about that. No, you're lovely. You're lovely as you are. And also, we don't have time. Okay. So, next one is just to get my cats to open up emotionally.
Okay. How would you go about that, though?
I think I need to spend more time with them. But they don't understand that, I'm a career girl.
My cats can open doors.
Wow. Do they jump up and get on the handle?
Yeah, they must be doing it because I put them in the utility room last night when I came back from the.
Oh, you mean actual doors, not like doors into business?
Yeah, or like the doors of perception.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't had like a second-hand car dealer round and turned to see a cat combining a business card exchange with a handshake.
Your cats are so cute. They're only little ones, aren't they? They're only babies at the moment.
But I put them in the utility room last night after I came back from the cocktail place. And they were out within a minute. I thought I must not have closed the door properly. So then I did it again. I went and brushed my teeth. And then I looked down and they were just next to my feet. So they're somehow able to open doors. It's kind of quite weird. I think they're too clever.
Yeah, I love that because I've got one who's thick as F. He is so thick.
An absolute dumbass.
My mum, when she first met him, like my mum just like makes up stories about everything but delivers it as fact, right? And she, before I knew how thick he was, she just went, well, I think this one's been brain damaged at birth. I was like, Mum, you can't say that. Like what? And she just did it. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about your 8 years at veterinary school because she was just delivering it like absolute fact. And then now I have to admit, I think she's absolutely right. That's where I get my notes on other people's personalities from, I guess.
Oh dear, okay.
But and he pissed the bed twice this week. Once because my mum stayed for 3 nights, and I knew he was going to do it right at the end. I think he thought she's overstayed her welcome, so he just piddled on the bed. And then the next day he did it again, but I rubbed his nose in it, and I was like, "What is this?" And I think he did understand, even though he's thick, because he hasn't done it since, and he was a bit ashamed for the day. So
did you say, what is this?
I said, what do you think you're doing? This is unreasonable. I've got to go to the laundry. I've got to spend £45 now on washing 2 duvets. And I think it went, I do think it went in.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Next one, to get off, you guys using these things?
What is it? Portable
iPhone.
telephone.
Right. Okay, well, you've come off Twitter, which I was very impressed with.
Well, that was because a man was rude to me after I did a gig, and he said it's a masterclass in how not to do a gig, and I actually thought that one went okay. Wasn't my best ever. I was emceeing, but I was asking for a roll up at the end of the night for me and Tim. Tim was on, and I asked for a roll up, and then he said a masterclass in how not to do comedy, and then he added Tim Key and went, oh, but this guy was like world class, whatever, and I thought, what, like, what, why? Well, that he's a guy after my own heart, I guess, giving notes on other people's personalities.
Yeah.
But I mean, it wasn't my best gig, but I don't think it was a disaster. But I think he thought I was unprofessional because I was goosing around, like asking for roll-ups and stuff. But that's a bit of fun if you're emceeing.
I think that's a bit of fun. I think that's fine.
I think he was trying to dampen my spirit, and I don't want to mention the word jealous, but...
And you came off Twitter because of that?
No, I came off Twitter for various reasons. But yeah, that was kind of like the last straw. Silly, really, isn't it? But...
So why are you on your phone if you're off Twitter?
Because I just
this is what I'm so fascinated by.
Well, I love the calculator function. I cannot stop adding up.
You're always using the little spirit level.
I'm pretty much off Twitter now. I still have an account and I still like retweet the odd thing, but I don't check it at all. And one of my wish number 2 for 2024 is that Twitter somehow dissolves or sort of implodes.
I've got some hot news on that. So I went out with this girl today, and she knows the ex-founder of Twitter, the one that sold. So he made so much money selling it to Elon Musk, and then it's now plummeted.
Yeah.
And then he's now got this new thing which is called, and it's exclusive, membership only, which I don't think is right because he's a Buddhist, so it doesn't make sense. But anyway, it's called
MySpace.
It's called Blue Sky. And there's like a couple of million people on there, but I don't really know what it is, but I'm going to have a snoop around there. But I don't think it should be exclusive because that's the opposite of Buddhism.
I think it's quite funny when you click on someone's Instagram profile and underneath their name, it's got their Threads @ symbol.
Yeah.
As because that sort of that lasted about 24 hours, didn't it? Threads.
I didn't go on it.
Yeah, I've never even been on it. I don't even know what it is.
No, I didn't go on it.
It's like a competitor to Twitter, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm only just joining TikTok.
Oh, you are, aren't you? Everyone should
I-
follow Lou on TikTok.
I just put my clippies up because you've got to get with the modern world. You've got to let people in another country see some clippies. I might get some fans in Benidorm.
You might get some fans in Benidorm. Wouldn't that be the dream?
I've got 2 more little ones.
Oh, yeah. Tell us them and then we'll let you get on, dear.
To become a national treasure and to get my clit sucked by one special guy.
Problem is, I think talking about the second one stops you from becoming the first one.
Yes. Well, I don't know. I mean, what a lucky chap he would be.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I don't doubt that. It's just.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Good God.
Well, Lou, we wish you all the best with your wishes for 2024. I hope they all come true.
I won't do them all at the same time.
No. But we got to find you a guy who's going to pleasure that national treasure. And Godspeed that ship.
Well, I'm not allowed to tell you about who chatted me up today because, well, we've discussed it. But anyway, look, it's been lovely.
Can you tell us about it without?
No, I've got to go.
It's reliant on it. The
No. They
story
don't
is
know.
reliant on an accent that would be unacceptable.
Yeah. It would certainly stop you from becoming a national treasure
Yes.
if you did that accent. On
Well, I can do the Welsh one. Right. Okay. Well, it's been
Could
lovely.
you not make him Welsh? I
No,
allow
it
you
doesn't
to
work.
do that.
Doesn't
No.
work. No. Look. We'll have everyone have a lovely Happy New Year. Don't put too much pressure on yourselves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well, thank you, Lou. Bye, dear.
Bye. So nice to see you. Bye.
Lovely to see
Bye,
you.
Lou.
Well, there you go. I mean, our hopes of a sort of 15 certificate erotic thriller dashed. Oh, Elis, look, it looks a bit like we've got the same sort of bookcase.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's quite good.
The colour-coded books of a psychopath moving into the Queen memorabilia of another psychopath.
Yeah. It's a bit like when I did a gig at Up the Creek in Greenwich in southeast London, and my jumper was exactly the same pattern as the curtains on the stage.
So no one knew you were on stage.
So you could just see my head. Yeah, it's great. It made for a very funny photograph. But yeah, and I never wore that jumper to do that gig again.
Well, we've got some emails, haven't we? People have kindly emailed in. So take me through some of the best of the best.
This one really, really made me laugh. This is from Becky. Dear dears, I would like a New Year wish to be that there are 2 separate areas of a petrol station. One for people paying for fuel only, and another for people who go into the shop purely to fanny about to waste everyone's time. I need to get the fuel and get out, not be waiting for some div to choose between beef jerky and knickknacks for 6 whole minutes. Happy 2024, Becky. I think that's a very good idea. And also we've had a very similar... we've had a similar email on that theme. Would you like to hear that from Claire?
Yes, please.
I should like petrol to be delivered in a similar way to milk. I sign up for a weekly/fortnightly delivery, and then someone in the early hours of the morning fills up my car. It's so simple, I can't understand why this doesn't happen. Amazing show, and I'm definitely looking forward to your new, bigger, smaller, better, not quite live shows in the new year, February.
Do you know what?
Claire.
That is a superb idea.
It is, isn't it?
So you would have to have a separate lock, which is just for your fuel cap that they have a code to or a fob to.
Yeah.
So they've got your registration.
You'd never run out of petrol again.
Yes, because it would be legally questionable as to whether you could sort of post it through the door in those letterbox-shaped cardboard boxes, like you get coffee delivered in if you have a coffee subscription.
Yeah.
I got 2 coffee subscriptions as gifts for people this year. It's a very good gift.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Apart from Fuzzy's mother's new partner, Jeff, who will only drink instant.
Okay, well, you could just do him 1 subscription a year, which is a big old tub of Nescafe.
Yeah. But that Claire's idea I read that and I laughed at how preposterous it is. And then I thought, actually, that's just a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Because have you ever got in the car on a big journey where you're running slightly late and you need to fill up, but you hadn't realised that, so you haven't accounted for that time?
Yes. My concern is that in order to be able to fulfill, say, you've got to be doing a minimum of 20 or 30 orders in one trip. So that's a minimum of, let's say, 1,500 litres.
Yeah, you need to be a tanker.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if rather than a tanker navigating sort of small country roads and then blocking, whether it's perhaps the easier method would be for the tanker to deliver it to a petrol station where we can then fill up.
Yeah.
And then you're sort of back where you started.
Or maybe it could be like, at American sports stadiums where you've got those men with like backpacks full of beer and a sort of gun. You could have like a bloke with a backpack full of petrol. And he could be, it's not going to be enough, is it? It's not going to be enough.
No, also that I think
massive.
health and safety wise, that's potentially problematic.
Yeah, it's the most dangerous job going, isn't it? Yeah. You're the most flammable person on earth.
Unlucky, Claire. Unlucky.
Do you know what though, Claire? I just think that, we're just two normal guys discussing this. I can't help but feel that boffins would have a solution, because I think that's a really, really good idea.
Well, what you need is a way of making petrol that is either soluble, so you could mix it up at home, or expandable. So you could perhaps get petrol in a crystal dust form. I'm slightly vague on the chemistry of this, and then you mix it with, say, water.
Yeah.
And that fills your tank, a bit like squash.
Okay. Yeah. Right then. All right.
Another email, or should we have another guest?
This is from Sam. My New Year's wish is for Elis to forgive me for my behaviour at the recent dancing with Dave. He may not remember this, but I spent a decent amount of time drunkenly shouting in his ear that my mate had gone to the toilet to do a big poo. Elis didn't seem to understand how funny that was to me, so I kept repeating it. I don't think you appreciated Elis. He's doing a poo at an indie disco. That is objectively funny. Elis nodded and smiled a couple of times, and I walked away pleased with my work. I woke up the next morning with hot shame splashing across my forehead. Please allow me to enter the year with a clear conscience. I'm sorry, Elis. I'm so sorry. Happy New Year, Sam. I do remember that. Because you must have said it about 40 times. So I was off at points playing quite long tracks. He said that. It probably lasted the entirety of I Am the Resurrection by Stone Roses, which is like 8 minutes or something.
Well,
yeah, nice one.
I'm not...
Nice one. Okay.
I'm not your guy for symptoms of Class A intake. Is that the sort of thing that would happen if you took ecstasy, magic weed, disco discs, or...
No, it's the kind of thing that would happen if you'd had 11 pints of Doom Bar.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but I had no problem with it, Sam. I had no problem with it at all. And if you want to do the same thing to me again, I'm DJing in Dalston on January the 13th. So please come along and tell me that your friend's gone to the toilet, because it'll be a really, really great night.
Lovely stuff. Well, speaking of friends, I think I can hear the doorbell.